We're now going to be getting a very, very special interview. It is with Deepak Nitrite. It's a very media reticent management. It's a rare interview to get where we're going to have Maulik Mehta of Deepak Nitrite talking to your channel and to my colleague Ajaya Sharma on supply chain issues, R&D, strategic, inorganic strategy. And remember, Deepak Nitrite, the kind of run-up that you have seen in the share price as well. Here's that special interview.
I made this mistake of thinking that things are in the past, and that might be true for one issue or another, but in the last 2 years, there have been so many instances where something was in the past, but then a new issue came up with another raw material or another part of the supply chain. Let's make no mistake that the supply chain today is very, very fragile. Now, we may have seen that in the past with certain products, which are also commodity products, but we will see similar situations play up with other commodity products. Some of those may affect a company like Deepak. Some of those may affect other companies that are also in the space. For example, right now, over the last 6 months, 8 months, there has been a significant disruption with commodity products like natural gas, which in the past had never really been an area of concern for anybody in the world. There are ample number of players, there are ample number of countries worldwide. But suddenly this has turned out to be a major geopolitical issue. Now, how this, converts itself into becoming an issue for India will be seen over the next few months, because India, in any case, is a large natural gas importer, is a large ammonia manufacturer, is a large urea manufacturer, and a large urea importer. So this will play a role moving forward. There are other commodity chemicals where they had significant volatility last year because of what happened in the US. And those have, to a large extent, been able to get moderated in availability and price.
That's good to know. Maulik, you also spoke about the importance of having long-term great partnerships and relationships with overseas clients, which the industry has developed. Your company is one of them. Many others have also done it, which also helps to pass on the one-off abnormal cost in certain quarters in a 10-year relationship. All of that, and also perhaps work very closely with clients. Talk to us, give us some feedback. How have your recent conversation with some of your large clients been? To just have a reflection on how the demand scenario is, how the talks between larger players happening on a broader basis.
Sure. So it's different depending on the geography. I'll give you one or two examples. One example being a conversation that I have had with European customers, partners, who we have been in one way or another engaged with over many years now. Either formally or informally. For them, the larger part of the concern is to have their supply chain, which was overwhelmingly dependent on China.
Maulik, how are things happening in the industry on R&D front? I know a lot of companies are, taking a step further in having dedicated, much more advanced R&Ds, working towards newer molecules, very closely working with the changing demands of the environment, the overseas clients. You too are setting up a dedicated R&D. How are things on that front shaping?
So R&D has become a significant value driver for a lot of companies, especially the large Indian chemical companies. And that's a good thing, because that's a significant value and intellectual property that we don't have to borrow under license. It is something that is a homegrown advantage. It will remain a homegrown advantage. So what we do in Deepak is we have, we basically have two pillars that we work our R&D on. One pillar is product development, and one pillar is what we call process intensification. Right. So the first pillar, which is product development, what we do here is, by and large, nothing in the chemical industry is brand new. But what we focus on doing is ensuring that something that we have not yet manufactured, where we have a significant right to win, is something where we can look at various different processes that are out there, identify the best one, and identify a path forward from idea generation to piloting, and then to putting up a large-scale plant. Process intensification is looking at existing plants and products that we manufacture and looking at ways and means of significantly improving the productivity of those plants, reducing the effluent characteristics, or reducing the enhancing the safety aspects, or reducing the risks. So these are major initiatives that a lot of companies, including Deepak, are looking at. And many times now what has ended up happening is a lot of international clients or potential customers have come to companies like Deepak and said, hi, we have a challenge molecule. This is what we need. But today, if we manufacture it, this is the kind of productivity norm we will have. If you're able to better it, then we are willing to give you a medium to long-term order and sign an exclusivity deal for a certain amount of volume. So these conversations allow us to also look at things from the perspective of a challenge. And if we're able to, if we're able to crack it, then that creates ample opportunity for becoming a long-term supplier for such molecules. Of course, we look at ones where we have a significant competency already inbuilt, which we are able to leverage.
Right, undoubtedly. Maulik, in every business, there are short-term objectives, medium-term objectives, and long-term objectives. R&D falls in place usually between medium to long-term objectives. A lot of times, a lot of clients do also approach to fit in, some of the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle for the real objective of the company. In such a circumstances, perhaps inorganic route also comes in handy. What are your thoughts there? Do you think there are enough opportunities or inorganic side as well for companies which are largely up till now seen as a single kind of category of chemistry companies, say phenol related, and now want to go deeper into forward integration or specialty or complex chemistry? Do you think inorganic route will come in handy in such a situation for any company?
Yeah, so the inorganic route has become wildly attractive in the last year, 2 years. Partly that might be to do with easy availability of money. It could also possibly be to do with saying that at the end of the day, we want to get where we want to get faster. And therefore, inorganic is always better on that front. Third is, you don't want to add new capacity. New capacity being added also reduces the prices that one is able to fetch for a product. But again, the thing is that because of all of these attractions, the inorganic space has become extremely hot. Right? You're looking at valuations which are absolutely ludicrous. And part of the reason why that kind of valuation is there is because there is also a proclivity to market the competency of the organization. Now, of course, that is a key value driver. All executives do that in any case, but there is a need to separate the perception from the reality. So this is something, and the chemical industry really suffers from this. There is this thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And the Dunning-Kruger effect essentially is something that's true across a lot of spaces, but in the chemical industry, it is very prevalent that a little bit of knowledge makes people, especially if they're investors or if they're looking at inorganic acquisitions, think that they become suddenly experts at the field. The more you know, the more you realize that you don't know enough until you reach a particular point where you feel you don't know much at all. And then you continue to go along your journey of understanding more and more until you become a genuine expert in that. So the chemical industry is one where there is also a greater fool tendency.
Sure.
And we have to be careful. So valuations sometimes can be on the basis of a very strong marketing pitch, and sometimes can be based on a very strong track record.
But at the same time, I would say, Maulik, raising, it's not about inexpensive money. A good quality company with pedigree do manage to raise at opportune times enough money. You have walked that path recently or in the process, so we'll not go there. But if we would have spoken about valuations of interesting complex chemistry companies, say 1 year back, there was elevated valuations across the sector. Do you think valuations have got corrected enough? Are there good kind of opportunities around people doing good quality work who are open to working closely with larger peers in good areas? Are there enough opportunities around?
I think there are opportunities. I think that the industry was due for some level of correction. Whether right now is the right number or whether it can be, somewhere between what it was and what it is right now, that I will leave to smarter minds than mine. But one thing is there that it should also be seen the quality of investors, the quality of money. Money at the end of the day, when it is coming in from an investor who is looking at it as a long-term investment versus looking at it as a trade, there's a big difference in the expectations. And when the investment that is coming in is a long-term investment, at that time, what they're looking at is the management able to walk the talk? Along with that, are they looking at it from the perspective of saying, is the management hungry enough to take the opportunity when it comes? But will it also be conservative about ensuring that it is the right opportunity? Will it use the money frugally? Or will it use the money as quickly as possible because today interest rates are low and XYZ opportunities are not there, so we're just keeping money in the bank? So